here at Briggs Nursery, and I'm talking with Steve Shumila. Good morning, Steve.
Good morning. How are you today, Emily?
I'm doing pretty good, actually. I have got a little bit of a problem I need some help with. I have grubs in my lawn, and I mean, it's really taken over. I didn't do anything about it the last couple of years. There's almost nothing in the front at this point. What do I do?
Grubs are larvae of Japanese beetle, rose chafer beetle, and maybe a few other beetles. The big ones are the Japanese beetles. They hatch in the summer, July, August. They do most of their eating July, August, September, October, November. Best thing to do, and they're also in your hottest spots of your lawn. You won't really find them doing a lot of damage in the shade. It's normally in the hot spots, along driveways, along walkways,
correct.
the sunniest spots. That's where the beetle lays their eggs for an incubator. The best thing to do is to treat that sometime this month, June, through mid-July, using a product containing merit. Merit is a systemic that gets in the root zone and into the plant, and it protects the lawn. It's very effective the first month, and it gets progressively less effective, but it's there for the whole eating time, that August, September, October, November
So it's a
time
3
frame.
month.
It's a
Soaks
3
right
to 4
into
months.
the ground and the plant
right
takes
up in the
it up.
roots. That does the most damage to the grubs when they're small. What happens, they hibernate in the winter, they'll dig down. They come back up in the spring, and at that point, merit's not going to be effective. You'd have to use a different product called Dilox, product with Dilox in it. That's more effective. It's only in the ground for 3 to 5 weeks, but it'll control the adult larva. Usually you see all your damage in the spring that actually occurred in the fall. That's when most people come to me. They think the grubs are doing the damage now. It was really done in the fall. You just notice it in the spring when the lawn starts to green up. What you have to do is use Dilox, rake up any of the heavy sod that's left, no root system, and then you'll prep your soil with loam, fertilizer, lime.
Now, how about if I have pets or anything like that? Is there anything a little bit more organic? Is that going to affect?
There certainly are. There are controls. One of them is milky spore, and it's supposed to be a long-term. It takes a little longer to become active, and but it is totally organic, and you know, come in and we'll explain how to put it down, how often, and it should be a long-term control. After you control the grubs, we discussed, next thing you do is you want to prep the lawn, get it to a nice healthy stage throughout the summer. Requires maybe putting down some loam.
Yeah, I got a load coming, actually.
Okay, then you rake it out nice and level, seed it, fertilize it with the starter fertilizer, and rake it under. The seed wants to become in contact with the soil.
That's what I wanted to ask you about. That you know, my thing is gardens. Grass is pretty, but you walk on it. What I want to do,
and I'm a grass man.
He's a grass man. I'm a flower girl. What I'm trying to do here is there's some areas that definitely got burnt out. They were dry. Exactly what you said. I also had a problem with a tree that I had taken down, and I still have a lot of the top surface roots. I need loom. Well, I'm not going to bring in like 50 yards, so little me is going to bring in a couple and do it myself. I've got some areas that are divots. I graded that all out. That's all prepped. I know how to sow a seed. Grass seed is a little different. It's more top surface, even though it's contact.
It is top surface, but what I recommend after you've got it down, we'll give you the rates. Most of the blended seeds are anywhere to 5 to 6 pounds per 1,000 square feet. Once you've got it spread, small areas, I just take a spring rake upside down and rake it under so that the seed rolls over. You want a little bit of soil on top.
Like I was cleaning out debris.
Yeah, you want the seed to come in contact with the soil instead of just sitting above it. Then it's a matter of good weather. Soil temperatures above 60 degrees, sun and watering. You want to water so it just starts to puddle. You want to keep it that moist for most seeds, 7 to 10 days germination, 2 weeks. The bluegrasses take up to a month to germinate. So you really have to keep going with the watering right through for a month. Then you come into the hot summer, so you have to maintain then also.
Now, we just went through like 40 days and nights of rain. I did have a small section done. I wasn't sure how much washout, but I'm glad that there is still some there. Should I reseed?
Yes, but it all depends on how long it's been, since it does take up to a month, so not all the seed is germinated yet. You bring up a good point about the rain. Rain a week ago, and then a week of dry.
Right.
The rain doesn't matter. You have to water throughout the year, Throughout the week, it's 1 inch per week, and a couple heavy waterings for your lawn is a lot better than 7 light ones. New seed, it's a little different, but for your lawn itself, it doesn't matter how much rain you had a month ago, you have to water consistently.
All right, so after the seed's down, now what do I do?
All right, now you watch it grow. You
Yay.
don't control the weeds until you've actually already mown it 4 times.
Okay.
You can use some of the, like the
Broadleaf.
step programs or the weed controls. They go down on wet grass, has to stay on the weeds for 48 hours. So you don't want to be watering, you don't want to be mowing after you use that product.
Right.
That's one of the reasons I recommend just going with the straight fertilizer and then using the liquid weed
In the
controls.
background.
Yes, there's birds in here. Gotta love it. So use the liquid weed controls. You can use it any time it gets onto the plant, stays on there, and you're not putting the product on the whole lawn, you're just putting on the weeds.
Okay. Now, and the fertilizer?
Fertilizer, very important. They recommend 4 to 5 times a year, which is actually 3 to 5 pounds of nitrogen per year. If I could show you the bag products
I'd
here.
like to go over some of this stuff. I'm a little unclear with the right ratios.
The numbers on the bags, you look at them and you think, well, a 10 on this bag and a 30 on that bag, so that one must be 3 times stronger, is what everyone believes.
Right.
It really isn't. It's 10% of the bag is nitrogen versus 30% of the bag is nitrogen. But the bags weigh different amounts.
Exactly.
So a 50-pound bag at 10% is 5 pounds of nitrogen.
Yeah.
You spread that over 5,000 square feet, you actually get a pound of nitrogen per 1,000 square feet.
Yeah.
The other bag with a 30 on it is 30% of the bag, but it's only 4.5 pounds in the bag that does 5,000 square feet, so you're getting 9/10 of a pound of nitrogen.
That makes a big difference.
So the numbers, you have to look at them. It's more involved in that also. It's how the nitrogen is made up of.
Right.
But to keep it short and simple, the numbers are misleading. The higher the number does not necessarily mean the more nitrogen in the bag. So you're talking 3 to 5 pounds of nitrogen per year. So you take any one of these bags, you use it 3 to 5 times. That's a good amount of fertilizer for your lawn per year.
Should I check my pH? I noticed in this flyer that you guys do up for Briggs, it's a home lawn care, and it's great. It goes over all of the stuff that we've spoken about today. But there's also one page that they've printed up for you so that you can send out a soil sample to UMass.
You can do that.
Amherst.
There's a slight charge for it.
Important. Yeah.
But it's very important. The pH.
There to be.
The pH actually allows your fertilizer to work.
Yep.
If your pH is very low,
Yep.
then the nitrogen's doesn't become available to the plant.
You're wasting your money, basically.
Yes, you are. So we recommend liming once a year. 1,000 square feet, use 50 pounds of lime, 40 to 50 pounds of lime to maintain your pH. This area, normally a low pH.
Okay. Now, I was actually surprised at this. Nobody ever really taught me this. I just tried to, a little common sense about me. The lime, they sell liquid lime now, which gets in real quick.
Correct.
Pulverized lime, I thought, would get in as a little bit quicker than the pelletized lime, and you told me not so.
Not so. The pulverized and the pelletized work at the same amount of time. It actually takes like 3 to 6 months. I'm not an expert on it, but it's 3 to 6 months to do, I believe they call it cation exchange.
Yeah.
Allows the carbon to be replaced by nitrogen in the soil.
Yeah.
And so it's the granular that takes a lot longer. That's actually like the small stones.
Yeah.
You can get that the cheapest now. But it still takes a long time to work because it has to break down. It's actually like a piece of stone. But the pulverized and pelletized, 3 to 6 months, that's why I do it once a year to maintain your pH.
Okay.
There's
Now,
also, there's 3 numbers on the bag.
right.
There's also 17 micronutrients that
Make a difference.
make a difference, but you can't worry about all 20.
Right. Right.
But they're all there.
They
They're
will-
all,
they
they're all
will-
present.
They will change the balance.
Correct.
So you should actually test your pH probably what? Once every couple of years anyway?
Once every couple of years, certainly.
As far as seed goes, I used to do some flowers on a golf course,
Mm-hmm.
and they have a divot mix, which is just real quick grass. You play a lot of golf.
Certainly.
You must have done
Not
done
enough. There's hundreds of varieties of grass out there, and they change every year.
Yeah.
What you look for in a grass seed, if you have a really inexpensive grass seed that you can buy at the box stores, you might find a high percentage of annual grass in there. Annual grass grows in a few hours, but in the fall, once you get the frost, it dies. It does not come back the following year. What you're looking for is perennial grasses, something that's going to be there year after year. A good New England blend contains bluegrass, ryegrass, and fescues. There's a lot of varieties of each one of those, but at least you have a mix like that. Some of the other less expensive seeds have a lot of just husks, hulls, weed seed. Those are the things. So you want to get an inexpensive grass, you're going to have less grass seed itself and more weed seed.
Do you want a certain amount of weed seed for a lawn?
I don't want any in my lawn.
Okay.
But there's weed seed and then there's noxious weeds. So there's certain things you control, but most of the seeds on the market are good quality seeds.
I call the dandelion perseverance. I must never give up.
That's for sure.
Okay. You've really been very helpful with this today. I'll make a confession. I think I might go out and buy a little slab of sod for some areas.
Well, sod's real easy.
Slap that thing down, water it in, and we're all set to go.